So, what if you could win basically any argument? Not by being the loudest person in the room, but by using one simple little trick. We're about to unpack a really powerful secret that can turn pretty much any fight into actual progress.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. One minute you're just casually talking about, I don't know, the TV volume, and the next you're somehow in a massive fight about toothpaste.
And just like that, you're in a full-blown battle. It feels like it just appeared out of thin air. But there's almost always a hidden reason these tiny little disagreements escalate so fast. Now, most of us think the problem is what we're arguing about, but it's usually not. See, we get stuck in this loop, and the key to breaking free is actually surprisingly simple. Here it is. The secret isn't what you're arguing about, it's when. Every single argument takes place in either the past, the present, or the future. And if you can master the tense, you can control the entire conversation. It turns out this isn't some new idea. Ancient rhetoricians, the pros, figured this out ages ago. They realized that every argument, no matter the topic, really just boils down to one of three core issues, and each one is locked into a very specific time. And here's how it breaks down. It's so simple. The past tense, that's all about blame. The present tense is a fight over values. But the future? The future. That is where we find choice. And, most importantly, solutions. This right here, this is the playbook.
Okay, so let's dig into each of these, right? Because once you can spot which tense an argument is stuck in, you can literally steer it wherever you want it to go.
All right, first up, the past tense. The moment you hear words like, you always do this, or you never did that, boom, you've just entered the blame game. The goal here isn't to solve anything, it's just to find a culprit.
There's actually a formal name for this, forensic rhetoric. And it's perfect for a courtroom, when you're trying to figure out who done it. But in your living room, it's a total trap. It just keeps you focused on punishment instead of ever moving forward. I mean, this is the perfect example, isn't it? It's not a question that's looking for a solution. It is an accusation, plain and simple. It's looking for someone to blame for something that already happened, and it immediately puts the other person right on the defensive.
Okay, let's move on to the present tense. Now, this is where things can get really personal, because you're not arguing about actions anymore. Now you're arguing about identity, about our core values and our beliefs.
This is what's called demonstrative rhetoric, and its main job is to separate the world into us and them. Think about a big political rally or a fiery sermon. It's amazing for uniting your own tribe, but it makes finding any kind of common ground with the other side feel just about impossible.
Take a huge question like this one. It's a classic values debate, and it is rooted entirely in the present tense. You're not really arguing about a specific choice. You're arguing about who you are and what is fundamentally right or wrong. And let's be honest, that's a debate you can almost never win.
But now we get to the hero of our story, the future tense. This is the language of problem solving, of collaboration, of actual choice. Even Aristotle called this deliberative rhetoric, and it was his absolute favorite for a really good reason. It just ignores blame, it ignores values, and instead it asks one simple, incredibly powerful question. So what should we do next? It's all about finding a solution, together.
This question is so simple, but it's just perfect. It's not about who's a good dancer or who stepped on whose toes 5 minutes ago. No, it's a forward-looking invitation to a shared, advantageous choice. It's collaborative at its core.
Okay, so the theory is great and all, but how do you actually use this to get out of a real fight? Let's walk through an example.
Okay, check this out. On the left, you've got a simple request met with a past tense blame response. Well, who was blasting Freebird earlier? And then a present tense values attack. You just hate my music. It's a total dead end. Now, look at the right. The exact same request gets a future tense reply. Sure, what would you like to listen to? See, it's a choice, not a conflict. Argument over, problem solved.
And this is exactly why it's so powerful. The future tense completely sidesteps the blame and values traps. Instead of judging the past, you're building the future together. It gives both people a real stake in the outcome.
You can kind of think of it as Orphan Annie's Law, right? You can't really argue about what happened yesterday. Those are just facts. But the future? Well, that's all about possibilities. It's flexible. You're not arguing about what is, you're debating what could be.
So you see, winning an argument isn't about crushing the other person and making them admit they were wrong.
It's really about persuading them to agree to a choice that works for everyone. It's about actually achieving your goal.
So here's your game plan. It's a simple 3-step process. Step 1, just listen. Listen for the tense. Step 2, identify the trap. Is this about blame from the past or values in the present? And then, step 3, shift it. Shift the whole conversation to the future. Your only job is to ask a question that proposes a choice for what to do next. That's it.
When you control the tense, you really do control the outcome. It is such a simple tool for turning all that conflict into collaboration. So, I guess the only question left is, where are you going to use it first?